This is the video for section 4.7 and it's called Inverse Functions. And so I didn't get the copy of the notes this time, but it should say on the left-hand side inverse functions, and it starts with order pairs 3, 4, 1, -2, -5, -1, and the inverse of this is when you switch the x and y values. So the inverse of this order pairs, you would still need the little brackets, open parentheses, and you switch the x and the y value, so this would be 4, 3. Comma for the other point, -2, 1. -1, -5. So you just switch the order of the x and y values. For the second order pair, we have 0, -2, -1, 4, and -2, -2. So to switch the order of the x and y's, that makes it the inverse. We still need those open brackets. And this would be -2, 0. For -1, so we don't change the value of the numbers, just the placement. And then since this is -2 and becomes the x, and then this is -2, it looks the same, but we actually did change the values. When you have the order pairs, especially on your homework, I really would like for you to write the x and y table first. So where we're giving 2, 3, 1, 0, 4, 3. And to say the inverse, we switch the x and the y value, but we still have new x's that were the old y values. So, and this was a -3, sorry. -3, 0, 3 were the old y values, but now your new x values. We're also going to write now the new y values were the old x values. So this is -2, 1, 4. Switching the x and y values. When you have a graph, what you'll want to do is go ahead and make a table from the order pairs of the intersections. The graph looks like it intersects at -3, 1, 0, 2, and 3, 3. That makes the inverse (1, -3), 0, 2, 0, and then 3, 3. For the graph, don't forget that you do have to graph on your homework and on the notes the order pairs. How we graph this, we go 1 on the x value, and then this -3 means down 3 on the y value. 1, 2, 3. 0, 0, 2, 0. That's a 2 on the x, and then 0 on the y means it stays on the x-axis. And then 3, 3. 1, 2, 3 on the x, and then 1, 2, 3 on the y. And please use a straight edge, especially for your homework. Make arrowheads at the end. There you go. 4 equations. It writes down the steps. It says first replace f of x with y. Remember, f of x is a fancy way of writing y, so they're equal to the same thing. The first problem we have is f of x is equal to 4x minus 2. So we're supposed to change it to y is equal to 4x minus 2. Then the step 2 says switch x and y. So this will now become an x. And then this will become a y. So we just replace them with the opposite letter. And then the last step, it says solve for y. So the next step says solve for y. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. I put it all the way over here because it's not a common term. It's not a like terms to put them together. So you could write 2 plus x is equal to 4y. You can do the division of 4 on both sides completely, but what I had asked you to do is divide by 4 to every term. 2 divided by 4 is 1/2 plus, and then this can be written as 1/4 x, just so we can tell that it's also the slope. And then instead of writing the y, which that was what goes there, the last step it says replace y with the f of the inverse of x. So this is the inverse notation, thanks to that guy right there. So let's try it again. For that second problem, we have f of x is equal to negative 3x plus 5. We're going to replace the f of x with a y. They mean the same thing. To do the inverse, though, we have to change this to an x, change the x and y values. We also want to solve for the new y, so we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. Remember, they're not like terms, so we're not going to put them together. This could be negative 5 plus x is equal to negative 3y. And then we're going to divide by negative 3 to everything. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. 5/3 plus, well, it's actually a minus because we have a positive and then a negative. So minus, there is a 1 in front, so we have 1/3 x is equal to y. Oh, but I didn't want the y notation because it's y prime. So we're going to do the inverse, the function inverse of x. So inverse of f of x. In your homework assignment, there's an example. I'm just going to pretend here that you have 4 is equal to 3 halves y, and you have to solve for y. So the easier thing to do is to multiply both sides by 2. Remember, if you have more than one term over here, it goes in parentheses, and you are supposed to do the distributive property. But that cancels the division of 2. So we would have 8 is equal to 3y. So I'm going to say it again. You have to have it in parentheses if there's more than one term over here. You have to do the distributive property. Then from here, what I would ask you to do is divide by 3. And if there's more than one term, it would be to everything. So if we had x, then you would have to divide by 3 to everything. It's just an example for your homework. And you could have 8/3 is equal to y.